Mr. H, class. As Rana Cornum, a retired Army Brigadier General, said, they were really the heroes of this whole thing. They just went in against ridiculous odds and persevered anyways. The unknown heroes. I'm here to persuade how the women in the WASPs, the Women Air Force Service Pilots, had an important role during World War II and had an important role in how women in today's military serve. These women during World War II were heroes. They showed how capable women are in the military and how they can work alongside men and do the same jobs. They were the first women to fly military aircraft in the US. By doing this, they had training and they flew aircraft so that men could be freed to go in combat overseas. They proved that women could really do the same jobs and work just as hard as males could and be effective. They flew every type of aircraft and did every type of mission on US soil just as the men did. As Deanie Parrish, a former WASP or a WASP, says, airplanes don't know the difference between men and women. They just know the difference between a bad pilot and a good pilot. So this was great. These women had training and were courageous and brave and defined and went against gender roles within the time during World War II. They flew and they completed the training, the same training that the males had, and they were just as effective pilots. The interesting thing is that these women really risked their lives just as males did. During the program, they tested aircraft. This means that when aircraft came off the assembly line and were not tested for their effectiveness yet, these women were the first ones to fly them. They got in those seats and flew them knowing that something could be defective or something could be wrong. They tested them so that they could pass them off to male pilots and to teachers as safe to fly. They also tested them after major maintenance was done, not knowing if the problem had been fixed or if there was another problem. So they really did risk their lives. Another even crazier way they risked their lives is that they had missions where they actually took out aircraft and put banners behind them. So these banners were almost like when you see in the sky someone being proposed to, will you marry me, on a banner, or happy birthday on a banner. They had a banner just like that, but their goal was to fly in the air as live targets for men training to shoot at them with. So these women were flying and actually getting live ammunition shot at them. So there's many other things that were hard and that they had to endure to fight for their country. They also had to pay to get to the training themselves, and they had to pay to get back from the training. The government did not supply these funds. 38 of these women died within training or flying these aircraft. And their fellow classmates, their fellow women WASPs, had to raise money for these women for their bodies to get flown back to their families and for funerals to occur for them. Once they did have funerals, these women, they were not allowed to have American flags on their coffins as you would any other veteran. They also didn't get veteran benefits as they should have, and they did not get military status. Some of these women, these pilots, even went through officer training just as their male counterparts did, and they did not receive these benefits like the males did. So after this was disassembled in 1944, their records were sealed for 33 years. The government was keeping this training and this program a secret. Until 35 years later, after they were dismantled, they did not receive military veteran status or benefits. And then in 2009, they finally got recognition, some type of recognition, and got a Congressional Gold Medal. To this day, when they're to be buried, they are allowed to be buried at Arlington National Cemetery and only as enlisted. Pilots are officers, and these women who are pilots only get enlisted status. They do not get officer benefits. These women really did shape how women have roles in today's military. Just as an example, today we have in the Navy Michelle Howard, who is a 4-star admiral. She's the first female to attain this rank and the first African American. Without women like the WASPs, we would have never had women in the military would have never had the opportunity to get rank that high or to serve alongside their male counterparts. We really do need to thank these women for their hard work and their dedication to their country and their love for country, because without them, women today would not be where they are in the military. Questions, comments? Mr. H, back to you.